We're going to build the best football program in the SEC Conference.
You have now arrived at Stadium in Gale.
The kick, it's been blocked again! How about it? It's been blocked again! It's going to heat one deep down the field. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be gone! It's a touchdown! And the Gators have won the game! Tyreek Cleveland! How about? I can't believe what I just saw! Dropping back to throw. Pops and fires the ball over the middle. It's Tyreek! It's Tyreek! Got a touchdown! Tyreek got a touchdown! Oh, man! Tyreek's got a touchdown!
Ahmad Black, in his final game as a Gator, takes it all the way home and sends Urban out the winner.
You have now arrived at Stadium in Gale.
Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Stadium Miguel. It's your favorite Uncle Silk.
It's Dan.
And Delatorre.
Same corner, different time. Bright and early on a Monday morning. How y'all feeling, man?
Bright out and bushy-tailed. Nick has to go to the new facility today. So instead of trying to make him work up against a deadline, we pushed it up to a little bit earlier today. And Nick, I'm jealous. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, we actually got a sneak peek, I guess, on Sunday. We had our first press conference in the new facility, and
Nice.
today, instead of practice, we get a tour.
What are
like
you most looking forward to?
I don't know, Dan. Just so much excitement. Maybe I can sneak in a nap in one of those
You gotta
pods.
recline. You gotta recline one of the chairs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't sleep on the floor. Not on the
Right.
floor.
So I
On
don't
the
think
chair.
we're gonna get into the locker room. Remember when like the renderings came out? That was like a thing in like that movie rendering. It was like only Florida football players go in the locker room. So I'm guessing we won't go in there. But there's a lot of stuff. I want to see that VR room where they can like project.
Seems pretty cool.
Like the,
See how you
the
line up
Coachella
against-
Tupac. Remember like
Yeah.
Coachella Tupac, like that. I want to see like Tupac in the VR room today.
You gotta get Percy in the VR so you can break your ankles, man.
Yeah.
I can see it. Line up
But-
against VR Mohamed Diabate.
Mahmoud,
Mahmoud? Yeah. Yeah.
this guy,
He's gone for a couple months, and I just forget. Mahmoud Diabate.
the disrespect.
We need to check in on our transfers to see where they at with it. I know Emory Jones got the starting job out there in Arizona, but we'll check in on that probably next week or some next week's show. See what everybody's doing.
I think Mahmoud's starting out there.
Yeah, he is.
Nice, good to hear.
I think Tyron Hopper is going to be starting as well, it looks like.
Where did Tyron end up?
Missouri.
Oof.
And then Chris Bogle. I mean, this is just on the fly
Michigan
updates. Chris Bogle is causing a lot of problems off the edge at Michigan State.
That's the one we're gonna probably miss, but we're gonna be okay on the edge, but we still can miss him in the rotation. Him and Cox would have been no drop off at all. You know what I'm saying? Whoever was there, but we're gonna miss Bogle.
Yeah, Bogle's be a good one. Are we missing anybody else? I mean, I'm sure there's some people that we aren't, but those are
We
the
had
big
Mincy
ones,
go
right?
to Tennessee.
Oh,
Gerald
yeah?
Mincy. I'm not sure where he's at with it. We can check that later. Well, how was your weekend, Dan?
Oh, it was good. We celebrated Brooke's birthday a couple weeks early with a group of friends. We're going to be in Hawaii
Nice.
during her birthday, so she wanted to get together with her friends. So we did that, had a great time in Ybor City, stayed safe, which is always a checkbox in the positive in Ybor City. Sometimes you just never know. But other than that, a pretty low-key weekend yesterday. How about you guys? Silk, you were at Club 11 at the wee hours of the morning, pulling Dan Thompson hours.
Yeah, shout out to I strategized perfectly, man. So I took a nap at like 6:30. Woke up at 11:30 around that time. Headed out like 1:30 a.m. something like that. Rick Ross was performing at 11. I wouldn't have went anyway, like on a normal basis, but some guys from 11 trying to do some Stadium and Gale roll up business, man. So I was down on a business trip, It's just so happened Renzel was showing up the same night. So I was like, let's do that business meeting at like 2, 3 in the morning, bro. So it's just dope, man, seeing them in that setting. Club 11 is a beautiful establishment. If you haven't been down there, it's quite the time. It just really gets cracking at like 4, 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. That's a little too late for me.
Dan, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
In my prime, I used to frequent 11. You know, if I'm down in Miami, it's definitely a spot that I hit before I head home. But I haven't been there in like 4, 5, 6 years, probably more than that. It's been a minute since I've been there, but still a great time whenever they have shows in there. It's a small setting. Right. For like a show, so it's very intimate. You get to see the artists up close and see all the diamonds dancing and whatnot.
Yeah, so I was just gonna ask you, was it like a full-on like concert performance, or was it just like 4 or 5 songs? Or
he did about 12 tracks.
Oh, geez, okay.
Yeah, he did about 12 tracks. Hung out a little bit. Went to old. He didn't do a lot of his new music. Did a lot of old records, a lot of old hits. But good time, man.
I'm here for it. Nick, how was your weekend?
Just working.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've been putting out some content.
Had our last scrimmage, I think, and then Sunday was our first time, getting into the building. Did our press conference there. Every weekend is going to be the same. I think from here on out. I had no idea that Florida State was playing like this week.
Yeah, week 0,
man. Dunkies.
Couldn't pronounce that. So every weekend's going to be the same, like from here on out.
Yeah, so I know FSU plays this week. I know Silk. This is probably one of the only times you're rooting for them, right? I mean, not big victory or anything else, but you've got that tailgate the week after in New Orleans. So
well, you break, you buy. We have a new no return policy on them tickets, Florida State fans. If y'all listen, so if Dunkeys pulls it off, then they'll be bad for business for real. Like I won't even. I don't really want to go to New Orleans if they already lost. Like I think LSU. I don't think they're down a few players with suspensions and whatnot. So this game could get very interesting in New Orleans, man. And Brian Kelly struggled with Florida State last year with a better team than Florida State. So we'll see. But I hope they win this weekend. Next weekend, all bets off, man. I don't care who wins or lose.
I love it, man. I love it. We got a big show. A lot of stuff to talk about this week. The buy or sell segment is back. So Ben Chase. All of your DMs, everything that you've asked for, we're back and ready to rock and roll. But as always, the title sponsor for Stadium in Gale is Alan Horn Insurance. Alan Horn is with State Farm. He will represent you in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, or Alabama. Check him out at Alan Horn. That's ALANHORNE insurance.com. Again, Alan Horn Insurance. Give him a call, 706-692-2888. Auto, home, renters, life, business, boat, RV, whatever it might be, give Alan Horn a call. Again, 706-692-2888 or alanhorninsurance.com. We are just a couple of weeks away, less than 2 weeks away from the Gators kicking off against Utah. Nick, you've been out at practice. We have some injury updates. We have a whole bunch of things that have happened in the last week, but from a high-level perspective, Nick, how are things looking?
I feel validated, excuse me, vindicated. I think it's going to be a team, like I've said, that really focuses on running the football. I think that's going to be their strength. We were talking to Montrell Johnson on Sunday, and somebody just asked him, like, what is Billy's offense like? And he just like smiled. He's like, Billy's going to run the football, and then he might throw some play action, but we're going to run the football. And when you look at the team, I think that's just kind of where the strengths lie. And Florida's got a good offensive line, 4 running backs. I keep hearing more and more about Trevor Etienne.
Yes, sir.
And like to the point where he might be passing like Lorenzo Lingard on the depth chart. I still think Naquan Wright's the number 1 guy. And then I think 2A, 2B would be Etienne and Johnson. So I feel vindicated thinking, or saying 60-40 run to pass. I think that's really what you should expect. Any Gator fan getting ready for the season, you should expect that kind of offense.
No doubt. Oh, Dan's on the phone. Real quick. Out of practice as well, what are you hearing backup quarterback wise? Because I know Jack Miller was down a little bit. I think he's had thumb surgery.
Yeah. So it's
Kitna's back, right?
Kitna's back. He missed a little while because of a knee procedure that he had on his right knee. So Miller's injury, it was interesting. So Napier called it a thumb avulsion fracture, but also said it was the same injury that Drew Brees had. They looking that up, they called Drew Brees's it's called like a skier's thumb. It's when you tear the ulnar collateral ligament in your thumb that kind of connects your thumb to your index finger. It's about a 5 to 6 week recovery. Jack had surgery last week, so Billy says two games, and I'm thinking definitely 2, maybe 3. If you're looking at 5 to 6 weeks, he's in a cast right now. So Jack Miller was your backup. Now you're looking at Kyle Engel. Shout out to St. Thomas Aquinas, STA Pride, former or not even a former, a walk-on quarterback. And Jalen Kitna would be battling that out right now. And I think honestly, if Anthony Richardson were to go down in the first quarter, like let's say his helmet pops off, and he has to come out just for a play, I think Kyle Engel would be the guy that would go in right now.
So, sorry, I missed some of this. Sorry, a work call come through. So Nick, I know you said it's his throwing hand that he's having surgery on. Well, I mean, obviously you use both hands.
Had surgery,
yeah, or had surgery on. Kyle Engel, talk to us a little bit about him. Obviously, I know that he is a walk-on right now. He was on scholarship during the spring, you said. They haven't brought him back on a scholarship. I don't think they have the room to do so. But talk to us a little bit about him, maybe a little bit about why he ended up at Florida. I mean, obviously a quarterback at Aquinas, but like, was he being recruited? I mean, do you know anything?
No, he was not being recruited by Florida. I think he had some other offers. Just wanted to go to the University of Florida.
Don't blame him.
And you can't blame him. And thought it wasn't even like a preferred walk-on situation. Just if I'm not mistaken, I don't think it was. But just walked onto the team, and for Dan Mullen and for that staff, just a good kid, just a good kid, and he's kind of really turned some heads. I think, kind of going back to like what I was talking about last week, where the coaching staff could sign like 30 plus 35 guys, and then you figure out the 85. Engel was put on scholarship in the spring and in the fall when Florida was over the 85. Not on scholarship now, but that shows you how much Billy Napier thought of him early on to put him on scholarship, at least for the summer session.
What are you hearing out of Max Brown and his? I just want to know everything behind Anthony Richardson, because we kind of know we don't know totally what we're getting at, but we know he's the starter. So I want to know if he goes down, what that room looks like. Is Max Brown making any strides?
No, he would be, break glass in case of emergency. I think he's someone that Billy calls all the freshman rookies, and even yesterday, while trying to, in answering a question about Jack Miller being unavailable, mentioned Engel, mentioned Kitna, and then in the same breath is like, and Max Brown is like chasing them, not quickly chasing them either, just as a rookie, kind of still swimming. So if Max Brown, I think if you're watching Max Brown play this year, I think several things
went wrong.
A lot of stuff has transpired to get him on. Not to say that he
won't
won't
be
be a
talking a ton
good
of
player.
football on this show at that point.
Then I'm at the green market.
Yeah, we'll be on lacrosse at that
heavy
point.
basketball talk.
Yeah, basketball. Right.
And it's nothing against him. Like, he could be a good player. He's looked fine. I think he has an interesting throwing motion. He was a really good baseball player. I think you can tell that he was a really good baseball player, the way he throws a football.
Is he a windup or?
No, he gets that really quick. It almost looks like a middle infielder. It's kind of like a 3/4 slot. Almost looks like a middle infielder trying to like turn double play.
Yeah, interesting. Huh.
Hey, Reggie B, we appreciate the tip, man.
Yeah,
See you
yeah.
at work vibing with us.
I was just going to show that. Shout out Reggie B. We do put this on YouTube. We live stream this on YouTube. Normally we do it in the afternoons or early evenings on Monday. Obviously scheduling conflict changed that. But thanks so much, Reggie B, for the $5. Any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Just a quick update for those that don't know who Kyle Engel is. You've probably seen him on some of the stuff that UF has put out from a social media perspective. He is a redshirt sophomore, currently helped Aquinas to the 2018 Class 7A state championship, finishing as runner-up, 13-2 season. Completed 67% of his passes with 9 touchdowns and no interceptions. Was in the 2018 Broward All-Star game. Was the 2018 FHSAA Class 7 Scholar Athlete. In the 2018-2019 Miami Dolphins Scholar Athlete. 2-time Max Preps Offensive Player of the Game. And a 2019 First Team All-County and First Team All-Region for lacrosse as well. So obviously a gamer and an athlete, 2-time SEC Fall Academic Honor Roll at UF. So definitely looking forward to watching Jack Engel progress. Always a cool story when a walk-on's able to do that. But certainly the hope and prayer is more
Kyle.
Anthony Richardson and less
Kyle Engel.
What did I
Not
call
Jake.
him?
Jack.
Jake.
Well, there's
Jack.
a Jack. There's a Jack Anders.
Oh, yeah, you can see my confusion.
Yeah,
Kyle Engel, my apologize. Kyle, I think I got your name right the first time. Silk, why don't you do a quick Gramco ad read, and then I want to talk about a couple of the other things going on the offense.
Already, man. Be sure to visit thegramco.com. Use coupon code SG25 for 25% off of all Delta 8 THC products. We have gummies coming in 3 flavors, watermelon, fruit punch, and blue raspberry. They also have a tropical orange, which is like a Jolly Rancher. We have wake and bake coffee, pre-rolls. There's an instant powder that they have that you can mix in absolutely anything. Your tea, coffee, spaghetti, whatever you may have. A mixed drink, however you want to get down that day. But it's dissolves, flavorless, not clunky. Pretty smooth stuff, man.
I feel like that can be dangerous.
It's very dangerous, Dan.
They sent me my care package. I didn't understand the coffee. If you could run that by me.
The wake and bake.
I'm not a coffee guy anymore, so I don't do it. But I think it's infused already. So when you run it through your coffee machine, it already has that gas in it.
Yeah, it just seemed counterproductive.
Yeah, I could see Nick's
I was like, wait, what?
Uppers and downers kind of mixed in there.
No, I mean there's uppers of marijuana as well. If you get a sativa, it'll be an upper. But I like to mellow it out because coffee already has that, so it'll be a good mellow. I put some of it in my black tea.
Interesting. I'm going to give it a shot one day. I think it's just a matter of not knowing what I'm getting myself into. So I don't know. I think I've got to do it on a day where there's no plans, right? Just
start with a half a scoop.
That's wild. That's like you're starting your day off like, hey, I don't know how this is going to affect me, but I drink coffee at 7 a.m. So
right.
Give it a shot.
We're going to see.
Yeah, it's better than doing it on a work day, right? Obviously, would never do that. Shout out to my employer.
Make a relaxing mud butt situation though.
Okay.
Very chill.
I love that. All right. Nick, what else do we got on the offensive side of the ball?
Wait, real quick. Use coupon code SG25. All this is federally legal. Must be 21 years or older to purchase, man. Gramco.com. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, wore a shirt this weekend. Appreciate that. Nick, what else has happened on the offensive line or offensive side of the ball, including the offensive line? Any update?
Yeah, Ethan White. I think Ethan White's gonna be fine. I think he'll be back to practice. There was, I think he's got like a broken nose or like a fracture or something like that. He'll be back. Don't expect him to miss much time.
Yeah, in the fight.
I didn't say that.
We steal somebody's sneakers out of the locker, or
he was talking reckless about punters, and I had to put him back in his place. That's what happened. I think the offensive line is fine. I don't know if they're going to get to those 9-10 guys. Like that was their goal, I think, to get to. We feel good about 10 guys to roll through in a game, or if guys get down or go down, get injured. I don't think they're going to get to that, but I think you're probably good with 8. And then I don't know what the tight ends have signed up for, but I've seen them blocking more than I've seen any tight ends block in the 15-minute window that we get. So,
yeah, in this offense, I think their job is going to be their extended offensive alignment to a certain degree.
I think Kamori Gamble saw the offense and was like, "Yeah, I'm out. Let me get out of here. Go to UCF."
I mean, Keon Zipper saw it and is like, "This is what I'm going to thrive in, huh?"
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here for. I mean, you never know what happens after those 15 minutes.
The whole room was injured in spring, so Zipper probably seen a ton of opportunity there. Whatever touches or throws may go to the tight end position. I want to see how he blocks in this offense, because he's a smaller. I don't think he's soft at all. He got the right mentality, but he's not your traditional tight end.
There are a lot of one tight end sets, Nick, from what you can probably tell.
They run a lot of 12 personnel, and they will run a lot of 12 personnel. And we haven't really seen if that looks like one tight end online and one H-back, or if that's, both like a jumbo set and both tight ends, attached to the line. So it'll be interesting. But credit to Keon Zippers. I mean, he's a guy that came in and I think we were all thinking, oh, that's an H-back. He's not going to be a blocker. This is a guy that's like a big receiver. And he's really, I think, maybe not taking it personally, but has taken that to heart. And he has become, if not a great blocker, at least a very willing blocker, and he can definitely hold his own there.
Nice.
I know you were talking a little bit about it, about running backs. I know right now it looks like Naquan Wright and Montrell Johnson are going to probably get the majority of carries there. Obviously, pardon me, Lorenzo Lingard and then Trevor Etienne are sitting probably in the 3 and 4 spots. What do you anticipate? And this is going to be one of buy or sell questions, but what do you anticipate that makeup being? Do you anticipate Wright and Johnson getting a combined 75, 80% of snaps, or how often do you see a rotation? Do you think?
I think it's a heavy rotation, and I don't know if fans will get mad at that. But if you look at all of his teams, last year there were 4 separate guys that had 100 carries. If you include the quarterback, I think they're going to rotate 3 guys pretty healthily. Rotate 3 guys. So that's why when we've been out at practice, I'd look and one day Naquan Wright is taking the first reps. Another day it's Lorenzo. Another day it's Montrell. I don't think it matters. I think the top 3 running backs are all going to eat. They're all going to get their fair share of carries. So I haven't put too much stock into all right, who's going first in that group? Because I think you'll get 3 guys that will have 75 plus carries.
I think the biggest thing is I don't mind a rotation. I think the fans were more frustrated with not riding the hot hand.
Right.
Yeah. So
or that Dameon Pierce got 3 carries a game and is now balling.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was the rotation itself, right? It wasn't that there was a rotation; it was the way that they chose to rotate last year.
Just Greg Knox rolling dice.
Yeah, I mean,
what number was that?
I mean, but look, with the Cowboys, Malik Davis is doing quite well, and then obviously Dameon Pierce is not only doing exceptionally well for the Texans, and likely going to be their starting running back. I mean, if you look at all of the fantasy draft TV shows and everything else, they got Dameon Pierce as probably one of your top 10 backs.
Dan Mullen ski mask us, man. He didn't even have a mask on.
He did it all in plain sight.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought you said scheming ass, not ski mask Dan. Ski mask Dan's funnier.
He was scheming too for an enough job.
Yeah, he was scheming Daniel his first couple of years. After that, it was ski mask Dan.
There you go. Scheming ski mask Dan.
Oh man. Nick, anything else on the offensive side of the ball before we move to the defensive side of the ball?
Update me on the wide receiver room and that, because I've been seeing some new names. What's Dejon Reynolds looking like?
I like Dejon. Where's the character from? Day? Was that a character from Friday?
Friday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to know that, just off of just for life.
I got there. But we were talking to Jordan Young, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Day," and I immediately went to Friday. I was like, "What?" And he was talking about Dejon Reynolds. That's his guy. I think they live together too. I like Dejon Reynolds. I think he's put together a good camp. Changed numbers on me. He's wearing just a single digit 8 now. I think he was 82 or 88 before, something like that. I think he's got potential, but like he's also, in my opinion, kind of like the same mold as Xavier Henderson, the same mold as a Shorter. They have a bunch of those guys. I think you need to get Ricky Pearsall back. Florida just, and I like Trent Whitmore, and I think he's a good player and could have a good year. But Florida doesn't have a player that gives the offense what Ricky Pearsall does. I think if you're looking at him, he's getting back and getting closer. Actually saw him doing like football drills, just doing blocking drills with the receivers at practice. But that's the first time he has done anything since he got the bone bruise in his foot. So I think getting him back, I would almost expect him to play. I don't know how much you're going to ask him to do from now until September 3rd. I'm not a doctor, obviously. Right. So I don't know how you could re-injure a bone bruise, or if, that just takes time to heal and it's not really something you're worried about, making worse. But I wouldn't push him at all, because I want him to play as many games as you can this year, especially September 3rd.
What's y'all feel on how this staff handles injuries? They seem very precautious with everything they're doing. I know we are gonna have some attrition, and they're looking for the long haul. But what's your feel on how they handle injuries?
They don't want to talk about them, that's for sure.
Right.
Right.
They don't want rumors being talked about either.
Nope.
I've seen some tweets get deleted about some.
Yeah, you're seeing some tweets get deleted. You're seeing some insiders on the boards have some cautionary asterisks about what they're allowed to or not allowed to talk about. And certainly things that I've asked people that I know that are close to the program, completely mouth shut.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about injuries. And they've got a lot of people in the building. It's funny because like all the staffs have always had memberships on the message board.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't know who it was or, what the account name was. But yeah, there's certainly stuff. There's certainly enough people in the Florida program now in Billy's Army that that message boards, tweets, everything is being seen. And I've definitely heard about tweets, about message board posts, things like that.
Well, I think like Jason Marshall sitting as much as he is, Pearsall, anybody that seems like a starter. I don't know. And this is me asking. Are they sitting Jason Marshall and some of these guys just to make sure they're fresh for week 1? Do you think, or they just not ready to participate right now?
I think a lot of the injuries we've seen have been like hamstring injuries, and I think this team just ran in the offseason more than they've ever been asked to run. Like ran as much as like Dan Mullen's travel agent trying to get his offseason plans ready.
Right.
So I think like Jason Marshall's just nursing a hamstring injury. And it's like, hey, like what are we going to ask you to do? Do we need to see you do that on August 15th? Or are we cool with just like, hey, let your hamstring heal. We're going to roll you out there September 3rd and cover the guy in front of you.
I would say they're probably being a little bit more precautious than, and this is our first time with this staff, right? So they may just be a very precautionary group of people, but also because the first game is Utah, there's probably, the folks that are sitting out. Jason Marshall already has his spot. Ricky Pearsall is a 5th-year guy. Obviously, it's a new offense and everything else, but he can still study. He can still spend time, getting himself mentally ready. But I do think because that first game is Utah, they're probably erring much more on the side of we want you completely ready for that game rather than potentially lose the risk of or to potentially have the risk of losing you during that first game. But we also might have a completely different approach to injuries than we saw with Dan Mullen. Who knows?
Well, then it's interesting because if the quarterback situation is like grim after Anthony Richardson right now.
Right.
Like I think Jack Miller's fine, but when he gets back, you'll be okay. Obviously, you want your starting quarterback to play. But how much does that change just what you call? And Billy Napier said on Sunday, we need to let Anthony Richardson be Anthony Richardson. Like, we need to let him run. That's part of his game. You don't take that away from him. But
good to hear.
But if your backup quarterback is going to be a walk-on redshirt sophomore, like, how much do you run Anthony Richardson?
You play to win the game, Nicholas.
Okay, Herm.
Big Herm had the science of it all. You play to win the game. You can't play scared to injure. You gotta protect them and not give them 50 carries a game with no ignorant, running between the tackles a lot. I don't think you do that. You got running backs also. They're a real good backfield. So you don't want to overrun them, but you got to use his skill set and not be playing not to get hurt.
Oh, definitely interesting to see. Let's see a couple questions here from the group chat. Larry Fisherman, who do you think will play the most in the first month of the season on defense, Devin Moore or Shamar James?
I'm going to go with Shamar James.
That's tough. I would say Shamar, depending on like Amari Burney's health. Burney's been out for a little bit. Ventrell's been out for a little bit, and I think that's really what has led to Shamar practicing more. Burney didn't scrimmage, so Shamar got more reps. Ventrell was back at the scrimmage though. I'll ride with Silk on that one. I'll go Shamar. I think there's just more guys ahead of Devin Moore than there are ahead of Shamar.
Yeah, I'm hearing okay things from the DB room too. Abraham and a lot of those Jalen Kimber, a lot of those other guys are capable guys. We should be fine at corner. Devin is gonna play, but if I had to pick one to play more, I'm gonna go Shamar just because of his natural linebacker instincts.
Yeah, and I think that there's a little bit better of an opportunity for Shamar James to come in and alleviate that role. I agree. We're going to go 3 for 3 on Shamar James, but I think it's probably only by 10 or 15 plays that separate the two. I do think that right now that the two of them will probably play a little bit less than probably the internet hype is on how much they're going to play. Not downing either one of those guys. I just think that there's definitely some folks that have earned the ability to play as more upperclassmen and, maybe are just a little bit more prepared. But I definitely think both of those guys will be very good Florida Gators in their career.
Mark me down for Shamar starting by Tennessee.
So by week 3, Shamar James is starting.
That's why I think.
Or week 4.
Game.
I'm sorry, week 4.
Week 4. I like him to be starting by then.
Interesting. Brandon Connell said Jack Engel is the next Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, we got some defensive questions a little earlier up. They was asking about the D-line as well.
All right, so let's see. We just had a discussion. Justin hopped in. The load share for running backs, we kind of just talked about it. But Nick, what percentage of carries do you think Naquan Wright has, or how do you think that the carries get split out? If you want to opine on that, like
it's not going to be this clean, but like 33.3%. Like I really think that the top 3 guys are sort of interchangeable. Do
you think situationally they're set up different, or do you think they're all able?
Yeah, they're different. They're different backs,
right?
Naquan's that I think more patient, one cut. Lorenzo Lingard's really fast. Montrell Johnson's a load to bring down. So, like, right now, if you're inside the red area, I think Montrell's probably your guy. I think Naquan's the best pass catcher out of the group. Trevor Etienne's also a load to bring down. So there's definitely different. Each one has their own skill set, which would lend themselves to being in a different area. But I really just think that there's not one guy that stands out above the other. There's not going to be a bell cow.
Does that concern you at all that nobody has stepped up to be the bell cow, or do you think they all just bring something to the table?
I've been really high on that room,
right?
Totally, just as a room, right. and high on the Gators offensive line room. I mean, I've been saying 60-40 run to pass probably since Billy's opening press conference in December. I think that's just what it is, what he's going to do, what he wants to do. And it just so happens that that's what Florida should be good at given their roster. Now, if he inherited Kyle Trask, and the receivers that Kyle Trask had, Tony and Grimes and Pitts, then I don't think I'm not sitting here saying, oh, they would just run the ball and Kyle Pitts would be blocking. I think it's not always going to be like this, but if you look at the roster, what Billy has done historically, that it just makes sense that this is what they're going to do running the ball this year.
I think if we do keep up that pace of 60-40 run the pass, that means we control a lot of those games. Because when you playing from behind, that sounds good, but you can't just run the ball like that. So it's going to depend on how well we stay into games and manage the clock and keep, if we're down 2 scores, I don't think they're just going to keep running the ball. So
Right.
I do think if it's 60-40, we had a good season.
Yeah. No, I would agree 100%. Let's switch to the other side of the
It was
ball.
closer to 50-50. That means we was chasing points and trying to get back into games, and we had to throw the ball.
We've got a question from Bam. Raw diets and pet supplies. How do you guys feel about the defensive line? How do you guys feel about the defensive line?
You're really good. Are we including like the what they call it? They call it their jack linebacker, the buck.
Outside linebacker.
Just their edge
Brenton
player.
Cox and them boys. Yeah.
Flores like when you said earlier, you're like, oh, they're gonna miss Chris Bogle. And I thought they would, but like Flores super deep at defensive end and at off the edge. My concern is and will be until I see it, who's playing next to Dexter inside.
Is it Watson? There's a question about Watson down here. Let's tie that in, because obviously I think we're all Uman Milan, Brenton Cox.
Man.
I think that we're excited about the defensive ends. I think we're excited about Gervon Dexter. I mean, a defensive tackle is obviously something that kind of ad nauseum we've talked about here. But Justin Cordero asked, do you guys see Watson being ever more than a situational player? If so, would this year be the year he elevates to being more than a situational player?
I just don't think he's physically ready. Physically where he needs to be more than a situational player.
Why do you think that's happened? From like a weight perspective. He's a big guy. Florida has 3 people focused just on diet and nutrition. Is this a at-home night, snacking type of guy?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, and he's eating too much of Spence's.
I was about to say, perfect time for ad read, man.
Yeah, he's eating too much.
Hey, we're not sponsoring the show, so we'll keep the name on the DL.
I don't know, and I don't want to say that he's lazy or anything like that. Like there could be a number of reasons why you have a hard time shedding the weight.
400 pounds, he's a little lazy, man. That's just what it is, bro.
He moves really well for someone his size, but then in that same breath, I think, okay, well, what if you lost 60 pounds just to weigh 350?
Dude, that's nuts to think about.
How well would you move at 350 instead of at 415? Could you be a guy that can play on more than just a goal line or a short
Can't be counted
situation?
On. The guy, you couldn't count on him showing up to the weight room all summer. You're not gonna be able to count on him in the fall. That's just football, man. I don't see. He's a situational guy. Goal line, short yardage. We bring him in and plug and do some things here and there. But I mean, team's gonna know he out of shape too. So if I see him on the field in a regular situation, I'm going no huddle with his big ass on the field. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to curse.
Dude. I mean,
but I would go no huddle. So I just think he's a situational goal line guy.
I mean, he's listed right now on the roster 6'5", 415 pounds. I think that's probably a generous weight for him.
I'm more concerned about just his general health than football at this point.
Yeah. So we have Chris McClellan. He's lining up at defensive tackle.
You're gonna see a lot of Chris.
Jalen Humphreys is lining up at defensive tackle.
I think Jalen Lee will be your starter there. I think Chris McClellan will play a lot. Talk about the opposite of lazy. Like he came in the spring and I think with a goal in mind of this, there is no rookie season. There is no redshirt year coming in early to play. There's still opportunity.
Well, let's adjust the question from earlier. Let's add Chris McClellan in there. Who do you think plays the most out of Devin Moore, Shamar James, and Chris McClellan?
McClellan. No, I wouldn't say that, bro. It's hard for freshmen to play in them trenches, bro.
There's nobody. There's nobody there.
If he gets
And
more
you've got to rotate. You've got to rotate those big guys.
Do we have Sapp big enough to play defensive tackle, or
he's playing strong side defensive end, but
right now they have him at 263.
He's a man.
Package,
He's slim.
He's a man. You could have a pass rush package where I think you've got Cox, Sapp, Uwamilin. Damn, that was good.
You got it.
What up, Nick?
Yeah.
Uwamilin and Dexter, and that's your 4.
Somebody should pay you to cover the
third
team.
and long.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that, I mean, you have Jamari Lyons, and then a couple walk-ons at defensive tackle. So again, a room that you're obviously concerned about. We're in trouble.
He's gonna have to surprise me, but when you're playing freshman at defensive tackle, that's the hardest place to start as a freshman, in my opinion. The toughest spot to play.
The closer you are to the ball, the harder
correct.
it is to play right away. And we're talking about a guy who might be lining up with his forehead over the tip of the ball, like forehead on a center.
These SEC monsters in the trenches.
It's just a product of recruiting from the last staff.
Yeah,
like it is what it is. The roster is what it is. So you've got Chris McClellan has more opportunity because of the depth chart in the roster that he joined than Devin Moore and Shamar James does.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, obviously, Gervon Dexter, highly regarded guy right out of high school.
They played Gervon a little bit at end, and I just don't get it because you're 4 deep at end. You don't need Gervon Dexter. Can he do it? Will he project as an end in a certain defense at the NFL? Maybe, sure.
Yeah.
But for right now, I don't think playing Gervon at end makes your defense better.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I was just looking to see, obviously, looking at, Chris McClellan, if he was able to come in and what he might be able to do. Gervon Dexter, obviously, different coaching staff, but, certainly you would want to see how much he played as well. Because even as a highly regarded guy that had the body and skill set, still took him, quite a little bit of time to do so. Answering a couple more questions here. Again, there is the super, what's it called? Super chat. Anybody that feels obliged or feels compelled to do that.
Man, show us some love, support the podcast. You got a question that want to skip the lines? A lot of questions on this chat, man.
Yeah,
you want to skip the line, VIP service? I'll let your boy man with the super chat. We got you.
Yeah, and please make sure you like and subscribe. Not only this podcast that's running right now, but the overall channel as well. That way you guys will be notified when we go live. A couple more things on here. Let's see. Q Lee, do you guys think that Brenton Cox can hold the edge run support? Because I don't believe it. Certainly that was something that we saw a little bit last year, a little bit over pursuing. Maybe, he even talked about giving up on some plays. Nick, obviously you've seen some practice and everything else, but do you think that we see a better holding the edge season from Brenton Cox?
Gotta set the edge, baby.
Hope so.
Hope so.
I
believe it when I see it.
I'm not saying I haven't seen him do it in practice. I'm saying we aren't seeing that stuff happen. Like we're not even getting the opportunity to tell you, okay, yeah, I have seen Brenton Cox in that situation and he is not doing it or he is doing it. We're not even getting that much football when we're watching individual drills. So I can't tell you that I've seen it with my own eyes, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be able to do that this year. That one thing, Brenton Cox, his entire mindset and his entire focus this year is get paid.
Right.
And if he's listening to anybody,
I hope that's not his only thing is to get paid, because I thought most of his pass rushing and not setting the edge was selfish. I need to get paid type play.
Mm-hmm.
Setting the edge is not the glorified play, but it's great on film to the scouts.
Yes.
So I just hope he's not chasing sack numbers and stuff like that. And
he's 100% chasing sack numbers. He wants. What did he tell us? He was like,
"You're gonna get some undisciplined football." Then if he's just flying up the field trying to chase, I'm not gonna just hanging my hat on anything. But I think a lot of that we saw from him last year was just undisciplined football, man. Trying to chase sacks.
He said he wants to break whose record is Alex Brown's single season record, but he wants to break the college record, which I think I can't remember who it was. But that's
like
like
that
18.
energy.
But it's like 18. So like he's definitely chasing sacks. But what I was saying is in terms of he's trying to get paid, if he's listening to anybody, it's not like, hey man, cool, 18 sacks will get you paid.
Right.
But showing that you're not just a guy who we only throw on the field, on third down will also get you paid. Set the edge,
Right.
Get dirty against the run. Do those other things. Show that you're more than just somebody who go after the quarterback. But listen, someone who you can make a lot of money in the NFL as someone who only can get to the quarterback. They pay those guys well.
Absolutely. Let's get a quick ad read in before we move on. Go check out our friends over at True Classic Tees, wearing one of their shirts now. Nick, I sent you one the other day. What'd you think of it?
Came in very comfortable.
Very comfortable shirts. They've got t-shirts, gym shirts, polos, whatever you might be. Great fit. They are a little bit more open around the stomach and dad bod area, a little bit tighter on the sleeves. They've already helped over 2 million people get a better t-shirt fit at an affordable price. Check out True Classic Tees, that's TEES.com, and use promo code SG25 or go to trueclassictees.com/SG25. Get 25% off of your order. They also give free shipping on orders over $100. Again, incredibly good products from small to triple XL in all staple colors. Again, that's trueclassictees.com. Promo code SG25 for 25% off of your order. All right, gentlemen,
Terrell Suggs has a single season sack record in his 24.
That's right. Yeah,
that would be a lot.
That's what it was. Because I was thinking it was two. That's 2 a game. A bowl game.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible. I would prefer, and I think that Florida needs him, especially with some of the issues that they're having at defensive tackle and everything else, to be able to set and hold that edge a little bit more than just getting sacks. But whatever drives you and motivates you, certainly. We've seen that Brenton Cox is great at getting after the pass, getting after the quarterback or the running back in the backfield. We just probably need to see a little bit more of a complete game from him. But certainly,
shout out to new producer Brandon.
Shout out to new producer Brandon. Perfect. Well, gentlemen, let's get into a buy or sell segment of the show. I know that Ben has been asking for months. I know everybody enjoyed this segment from last season. So we are back.
Did Ben tally us up?
Ben said that he did. He was doing it in real time. So he'd probably have to go look back at the tweets. I'm just going to assume that I won and then you came in third. And
naturally.
came in second. Naturally. All right.
Naturally.
Silk, we're going to start with you, my friend. Buy or sell. These are season things. Buy or sell. Naquan Wright has more than 50% of the carries this season by a running back.
More than 50%? I'm selling that.
That's an easy sell.
I think
Montrell is different. I think he's going to be really, really good, man. I like the whole running back room, but I think Billy's been not putting Montrell as a starter, like out of making sure he's not showing favorites and that type of shit. That's one of my takes. I think he's kid's gonna, because even Linger, like when somebody asked that question, Linger starting in spring, what happened and all that. I don't think Linger's bad. That room is very good, but I keep watching Montrell clips of when he played Louisiana kick and play.
It's interesting because I'm not saying you're wrong, but like you kind of need to see what coaches say versus what they do. And we just haven't seen what Billy does yet. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I could tell you when Jim McElwain was here, like Will Greer could have 500 passing yards and he'd be like, yeah, Will missed these three passes. And that was just the way that he would talk about his team. I think Billy is very deliberate when he speaks. I think he's been tempering expectations publicly, whether it was at SC Media Days or at press conferences. He hit Anthony Richardson on Sunday with everyone wants to put a crown on him, but he's completed 33 passes in his career. The great ones at the University of Florida complete that in a game. So I think Billy's very deliberate in what he's saying. Cause like, I mean, we're all three sitting here talking about Heisman dark horse and Billy's like, whoa, chill out. Like this guy is very green. So when Billy talks so highly about all three running backs. I just don't. I'm not ready to say, okay, well, that's smoke and mirrors, and one guy's going to get 50%. I think it's a true timeshare situation.
Yeah, but I do think Montreal he's going to be one of them. Dan, you muted.
Silk just hit me with the
off.
Dan's going off on mute. Silk just hit me with the Kanye. He was like, "That's cool, Nick," and I'm gonna let you finish. But Montreal Johnson had the best album all fall.
All time.
I was going to ask you, Nick, you said that you think that he's going to have a little timeshare. I was going to ask you if this is more of like a Pigeon Forge type of timeshare, if this is like a Hawaii timeshare, you know?
You're big Hawaii vibes, Dan. What
big Hawaii
Pigeon
vibes?
Forge? I didn't get
matches his Twitter picture.
That's right. Can't wait to get a new one. I'm breaking out some new Hawaiian for the trip. All right. Nice. So Nick, you sold. Silk, you sold. I'm going to buy. I just think that he's going to lean on a running back, and I think that he gets a little bit more than 50%. I think that he's a little bit more than just a running back, and in terms of his pass catching abilities. Obviously, has a lot of experience. I think that was Florida's best option besides Dameon Pierce last year. Obviously, struggled with the way that they split carries last year, but I do think that he is your best running back going into this season. Although I think when their careers are ended, Montreal Johnson will probably go down as the better statistical and maybe overall better running back at the University of Florida. Buy or sell, Ricky Pearsall leads the team in receiving yards.
I'll buy it.
This is not your last Pearsall, Nick.
I'll sell. He will lead in receptions, but not yards.
Who do you have leading in yards?
I don't know. I think I just screwed myself with that one because I think he will end.
Leading yards, run out the catch.
Well, that's not the question. I'm not going to let you put me in a corner and ask me
volunteer that information.
These ancillary questions.
Right, watch this. So as I run through every wide receiver, buy or sell, they have the most receiving yards on the team. We're going to back Nick into a corner here.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I'm going to buy. I think that just his position. I think that lack of Florida, the lack of Florida's threats at some of the deep positions, deep wide receivers and speed and getting open. But I also think that the offense is going to be a little bit more predicated on short to intermediate passes as well. So I think Ricky Pearsall is going to lead the team in receiving yards. Buy or sell, Brenton Cox leads the team in sacks.
I'll buy it.
Buy it.
I'm going to buy that as well. That was easy.
Riding our coattails. So
yep. Shamar James starts by the Tennessee game.
Sell.
Buying it. I'm buying it.
I will sell that. But
y'all got faith in that
you might be able to make up. You might be able to make one up on us.
That boy's I'm telling y'all, man, he's a natural linebacker, and I think he's just gonna be able to do some things other guys can't do on tape as far as filling gaps, getting downhill to make plays. Man, these guys, some linebackers want to smoke, some don't.
Buy or sell, the safeties have more interceptions than cornerbacks this year.
And it's gonna have to be a switch of who back there. I like Donovan McMillan, but I'm going to go corners, man, just because those guys aren't ball hawks back there right now.
Yeah, I'm going to sell that. Damn, bro, I saved money all 2021. I still can't buy anything this year. I think Donovan McMillan is good. He had the only interception, the only turnover that the defense caused in the second scrimmage. But I'm going to go with, I think, the corner, so I'm selling that.
I'm selling.
I'm going to buy for no other reason than somebody's got to do it. I don't have this fake money to just sit on it. The bank's not giving out a good interest rate. The market's going up and down. I don't know what it's going to do. Market's down today, right? I mean, we just got to spend, right?
I got to keep my face clean. I can't put my face on the safeties right now. I got to keep my reputation.
Dan's just a fake billionaire spending his fake money.
That's all I'm doing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of fake billionaires out there.
Daniel Ruiz over here.
Buy or sell, the Gators have a top 40 offense.
Ooh,
top 40 offense.
Like top 40 doesn't seem that good. That's the sign of a good buy or sell there, Dan.
I appreciate that, Nick.
I'm
Were
buying.
they last year?
I think we have like one of the top rushing offenses in the country, man. So I'm gonna buy it.
So give you an
Top
idea,
40.
Florida was 15th last year
In total offense.
in total offense.
Damn, that defense.
How we
was
managed
bad.
to do that?
Woo-wee. That tells you how bad the defense was.
We got in track races with Samson.
Sanford and
Samson.
Sons.
Yeah.
Got into a track race with Sanford and his sons. I'll buy that. Top 40. Yep, buy it.
I'm going to buy it as well. This is where we get into a little bit of a sticky wicket. We obviously know Florida's defense last year was not great, although statistically, if you look at it, 51 overall. I would have thought they would have been quite a bit lower than that. Obviously, 51 is not what Florida expects or wants out of defense. Will the Gators have a top 30 defense this year?
Buying it. I'm buying it. Top 30 defense, me, man. Defensive tackles is a problem concern. I think safety room, if people struggle, they'll get past, and we got some talented guys behind the starters. So I'm not worried about the position. I think cornerback is pretty good. I think Patrick Toney's style of defense, what he's calling, is going to make us a lot more aggressive and not passive and sitting back waiting for things to happen like last year. Guys knowing where to be, knowing to huddle up on, being able to get out the huddle and just to get us to your assignment on time. All that's going to be a big plus, man. So I'm buying it.
I think there's going to be a severe lack of blitzing from 14 to 15 yards off the line, which really is how you dial up some defense. I just don't know. I think Florida's going to have a really hard time stopping the run between the tackles. So I'll sell that. I think there is talent, like, especially on the edges on the defensive line. I think you've got a lot of talent at cornerback. Tre'Vez Johnson's a guy that I still really like, and we haven't really talked about that much. I think there's a lot of good young talent on the defense, but that might just be a year away. I am really interested to see Patrick Toney, to see him call it, to see him dial it up. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be like I think he called it a little bit last year, but this is a different ball game.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see Patrick Toney. I think that he's got a couple years at Florida before he probably moves on to a head coaching spot himself. I'm excited to see what they can do. I think that if anything, this is going to be a more well-coached team than last year. I think that this team has a little bit more to play for. And I think that there seems to be a cohesiveness that we didn't see maybe last season. It's easy to say that now, but everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? So I think the top 30 is going to be with the talent that they're playing against and with some question marks at the defensive tackle position. I think that Florida probably sits somewhere in the high 30s, unfortunately. So I am going to sell overall. Q Lee, shout out to you for Nick won't buy, so Q Lee will buy in the chat for you. Buying. I think he sold one, so we will continue to do that every week.
Q Lee's like silk at 11. Just the money is just being tossed.
Yeah, he's like Rick Ross on those dancers, right?
Just $1.11.
No, allegedly.
I don't think you're allowed.
Just in case your wife is listening, you're right. We weren't even at 11. We were adjacent. We were 11 adjacent.
She was there.
Oh, never mind.
That's nuts. All right.
Not a single dollar was thrown, fam.
That's our buy or sell. We do have a segment, but before we do that, let's give a shout out to our friends over at Alumni Hall. Go visit them, alumnihall.com. Men, women, children, apparel, lifestyle, cups, other accessories and decorations. Go visit Alumni Hall online at alumnihall.com or in Gainesville on Archer Road. We appreciate Alumni Hall. Great people. Obviously, anything that you would want for the Florida Gators, they have in spades. So again, check them out, alumnihall.com, whether it's a polo shirt for your golf outing or whether it's your next game day t-shirt or whether it's something for the house, visit alumnihall.com either online or visit them on Archer Road. Gentlemen, we have been building out some teams. Last time we did defensive line and linebacker. I lost miserably. My team's going to struggle there. But now we're going to choose.
Did we run that poll?
We didn't. I thought it would be tough to run the poll. I think I just need to make a graphic for it because you can't
really
write everybody's name down. So I also knew that I was going to lose. So
yeah, I clearly came away with the win there. I think you handed it to me, and it was suspicious that the poll never hit Twitter. It was suspicious that the poll never hit Twitter.
Suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Well, Silk has access. Nick, you also have access. So if ever I miss something, just
I don't have access. I don't have access to the Twitter. There's a severe lack of punting appreciation on the S&G Twitter, so that I don't have access.
Very good. All right. So this week we are going to pick a head coach, an offensive coordinator, and a defensive coordinator. So let's pull up the spinning wheel.
While you get that wheel ready. It's a technicality, but I think Ventrell Miller has played for more head coaches than any college football player ever. Because if you include Randy Shannon and Gregory Knox, if you include the two interims, this is his 5th head coach.
That's nuts. I saw that there's a player for Northern Illinois that is an 8th-year senior.
With 3 defensive coordinators? 6 head coaches, 3 defensive coordinators.
5 head coaches.
5 head coaches, 3 defensive coordinators.
I was just saying Randy Shannon and Greg Knox reminding Dan that they were head coaches at the University of Florida in case he wanted to pick one of them with his first pick.
All right, let's see. I have to share my screen by hitting this.
That might be his first pick for real, though, Nick.
He might listen. Greg Knox was the interim GOAT until the Gasparilla Bowl. He should have just hung it up. Shouldn't have shown up to the Gasparilla Bowl.
All right, so we are spinning again.
Spin that wheel.
Dan gets to go first. Let's go.
It's rigged.
It's rigged. I've gone last the other times.
Every time.
You. Love the website clapping for me. Can you hear the clap?
This poll might make the Twitter page.
Yeah, it might. And then we've got Nick.
No, this thing's racist.
All right, and then Silk. All right.
Hey, look at that. Clap for Silk.
All right, clap for Silk. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to go first. I'm going to go. This might be tough. Do I go Jim McElwain? I'm going to go with Urban Meyer.
All right, I got Steve Spurrier. I didn't have a pick. I was just taking one of the two.
All right, well, I'm going to go OC. Give me Dan Mullen at OC.
All right.
Dan Mullen at OC. I was gonna say only good, really good with Tebow, but Killer Kyle got him.
It's my turn again. Relax.
It is.
Let me come back with it. I'm already screwed for head coach. I'm gonna go DC. Give me Bob Stoops.
Solid.
Okay.
Can I make Will Muschamp a DC?
No, you cannot, Nick. That would violate the rules. You know what? You can. You'll just be without a defensive coordinator.
Give me Larry Fedora.
Okay.
That's interesting.
All right. I am going to go with, let's see, on the defensive coordinator, I can go Charlie Strong or I could go Dan Quinn, both of whom did well, but I think I've got to go with the guy that won the national championship. So I'll go with Charlie Strong. And then for offensive coordinator, geez Louise. Ugh. Oh, geez, boys.
Bro, you started. You already should win this, man.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to think. I'm blanking on the name because obviously.
Who you missing? You looking for DC or OC?
I'm looking for an OC.
It's gonna be hard, man. Such an offensive-minded coaches that came in here in the past, man. That's why I had to grab Dan, get a little strategic.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like, I guess you could go like Brian Johnson, but there's just not a lot there, right? And so many of the offensive coaches, whatever. I'll just go Brian Johnson.
So me, unfortunately, I got.
I think it's on Nick.
No,
Nick,
it's on
okay.
me. Yeah. I'm gonna go recent, and I'm gonna go with my dog Jeff Collins. Wind up my class. So I've got
Jeff
Spurrier,
Collins. Nobody got
Fedora Collins.
Nobody got Charlie Strong.
No, I got
Dan took Charlie.
I got Urban Meyer,
I dropped
Brian
the bag.
Johnson, and Charlie Strong.
I dropped the bag. I should have gone Spurrier
Coyne?
Strong. I went Spurrier. Oh, DQ. That's a good call.
Yeah, that was the other name. That's who I was in between. But
I would let him stick with Jeff Collins. I like that for him.
yeah, I like that for him.
I think
With him and his
that's
Mountain
what
Dew
it
and a swag chalice.
Jeff Collins blocked me, and I don't know why. I never even slandered the guy. We just hired Randy Shannon. I was just like, okay, cool. So we just got the same guy.
So who's your head coach?
Give me McElwain, man.
Woo!
Well, I go McElwain. I was gonna say Zook, but Zook was just, just
Not even like a
You
Galen
might have-
Hall or a Doug Dickey or
You've picked Twitter's. You are going to cause a firestorm on Twitter. You've got Dan Mullen and Jim McElwain on your coaching staff.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? My defense
Bro,
is crazy.
bro,
But
we
I
hate
think
this
Dan Mullen. You look at Dan Mullen won a national title at OC, bro. So like, what do you? Not big of a gripe. You let Dan Mullen do the play calling. I think McElwain was a better recruiter than Dan. So we get, still get out Jamar Chases and those type of guys in the building. Get awkward Dan out of the way. But defense is going to be top notch.
and then when McElwain gets fired, Bob Stoops can step up into the role. I get it.
Go.
Yeah,
There you
he has
go.
a succession plan.
Stoops is an elite recruiter too back in that day. So our defense is going to be fire.
Yeah.
But once you got Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier, I'm screwed. Once the machine was racist, I was out.
All right, gentlemen. Next week we are going to pick kicker, punter. Unless you want to do it now, and we can respin the wheel. Punter, punt returner,
I feel like Nick's more prepared than me.
and kick return. Nick is going to have himself a field day trying to get himself a punter and choosing one. Right? We might make Nick go first and just pick a punter.
That's
It's just the kind of guy we are. All right, we'll run that poll after the show. Coincidentally.
So like Nick's more prepared than that for me. Like he's going to go and study Florida's punters until we record next week.
I could
Come back
Google
ready.
the list. I could have the list Googled and available to look at. I might go out of left field, man. That's a good one for us, man. We had some good punters and kickers, so
Yeah.
gotta get strategic on that shit.
I mean, Chaz Henry. I mean, there's names that we don't even talk about anymore. Obviously, Bo
Chaz is a
Townsend,
beast, man.
Chaz
Joe
Henry.
Davis.
Who was the other? Who was the guy?
Chaz did
Kyle
the choke.
Christie.
Didn't Chaz do the choke joint with your man?
Grantham
With
told
Grantham.
Chaz
Yeah,
he
did
was
that
gonna
to
choke
Chaz,
'cause
yeah.
Chaz was a punter who was having to kick a go-ahead or a game-winning field goal. Grantham told him he would
Big
choke, or
Chaz.
maybe Grantham was choking on a snack on the sideline, but Chaz did not choke.
I noticed that nobody picked Todd Grantham in our defensive coordinator.
Bro,
Okay,
Silk's team, like with the coaches that he picked, I wouldn't have been surprised if he went with Grantham.
What?
Wow,
No, I
You've
actually,
got-
that's a
you've
lot
got,
of
like,
shade.
I was put in a corner with head coach, right?
That's true.
But I think
Yeah.
my defensive coordinator is on point. My offensive coordinator, damn, what offensive coordinator nobody has gripes with. They have
So
Dan
so
Mullen
you
as head coach.
assembled
I didn't hire Dan Mullen the head coach.
You assembled
I
Will
hired
Muschamp's actual coaching staff. You're like, we don't know who is going to call offensive plays, but the defense is going to
No,
get.
Dan's gonna call the plays. You can't have
Oh.
Mac out there with that NFL style defense trying to be Bama. And no, we need Dan Mullen to keep it Florida style, the spread. McElwain is there just to. I needed a head coach, and I don't know those other guys at all.
Yeah, he's just gonna be there making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
No socks.
Give me Zook, man. I can't switch now, but I should have
Now you know what, Silk? I'll let you. I don't want you to catch
appreciate it,
unnecessary unnecessary strays on the timeline.
McElwain did give us trash though.
He did. Almost say would have probably got you Jamar Chase too.
Right.
Matt Corral.
Matt
Corral, potentially Justin Fields.
Y'all give McElwain a hard rep, man. You know.
There's a
He
lot
had
of
to go. He had to go. But
That staff, like McElwain, and Drew Hughes, that recruiting staff had gotten things figured out
right
before Jim McElwain had like a fever dream and made up some death threats and then said it out loud.
All right. So we're gonna add one person to our coaching. We're gonna add another week, and we'll do some off the field folks. I get Jamar Chase.
Let's do positional. We can go
Position
D-line.
coaches. Okay.
Yeah, we can do position coaches. That gets more tricky.
All right. Position coaches. Ooh, that's gonna
Let's
be
go
tough.
defense first. Then we'll go offense.
You want to do that next week?
Yeah.
All right. Do offense and then defense. Do them in separate weeks. Love it. Let's get a quick shout out to our friends over at Home Field Apparel. Visit them, homefieldapparel.com. Use promo code Stadium and Gale, all one word. Get 15% off of your order. Just released a bunch of new stuff. And if you are an Indianapolis Colts fan like Harrison, they are announcing a partnership with the Indianapolis Colts this week. So congratulations to them. That is their first NFL partnership. But go visit homefieldapparel.com. Promo code Stadium and Gale, 15% off of your order. And enjoy the best vintage and softest cotton t-shirts in the market. Quickly before we head out of here, some Gator news of the week. All single game tickets are sold out for Utah, so that's pretty cool. Big welcome to the Swamp for new head coach Billy Napier and the staff. Should be an electric environment at 7 p.m. Kevin O'Sullivan, Florida Gators baseball coach, got engaged this weekend. So congratulations to Kevin O'Sullivan. Congratulations to gymnast Leanne Wong, who won the uneven bars at the U.S. National Gymnastics Tournament this weekend, actually here in Tampa, right across the street. And then incoming freshman Kayla DeCello, who was named to the U.S. senior national team. So congratulations to the both of them. In women's soccer, new head coach Samantha Bohan got their team's first win with a 3-0 defeat over Stetson. Congratulations to former golfer Tyson Alexander, who earned his PGA Tour card. He is the son of former head coach Buddy Alexander, spent 12 years as a professional on the Korn Ferry Tour, finally gets that card. So congratulations to him. In volleyball, the women's volleyball team is ranked number 15 in the AVCA preseason coaches poll. It is the 31st consecutive year of being in the top 15 to start the year. Congratulations to head coach Tim Walton, Carla Eccles, Amanda Lorenz, and Michelle Moultrie, all either current or former Gators who helped the United States win the world championship in softball at the 2022 World Games. Heptathlon athlete Anna Hall, who we've talked about quite a bit on this show, has announced that she will be going pro in track and field. So congratulations to her. And then finally, the fourth assistant coach, or maybe the third for the Miami Heat, Udonis Haslem, has announced that he will be back on the sidelines for his 20th NBA season. So congratulations to Udonis Haslem. Boys, I think that just about does it for content. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to update on the September 3rd Utah game recruiting. Kaden McDonald is going to be pulling up. I think most of our commits will be there. Some names that are not commits that are pulling up. Kaden McDonald, 4-star defensive lineman. His battles, I think he's deciding also October 31st, which is Halloween. Coming down to Clemson and Florida battle. OSU and Michigan also involved. Kamani McClain out of Lakeland should be here as well, September 3rd, as well as DeJon Johnson, defensive back out of Tampa Wharton. Also, Will Norman left IMG to head up to Maryland, so he won't be playing in-state anymore. So if you pop up there to try to see him play a game, he won't be there.
Hey, we need to still count that, though. Just got to get those IMG numbers up. He committed
Yeah,
while
we
he was
still
in
count.
IMG, so we're still counting it as IMG.
You already wrote the article, Nick, so we got to keep it.
That was Corey.
Yeah, shout out to Corey Bender. Another big game because a lot of our crew started playing this week. Eugene Wilson is going to be everything advertised, man. Super explosive. Every time he touched the ball is a threat to score. Got 2 touchdowns, an interception in 1 quarter, and they sat him down, man. Just good stuff that I've seen on the timeline. I didn't follow everybody, but got to see him get busy a little bit. That's all I got.
Any word on why Will Norman is going back to New Jersey? Is it just to play closer to family, or
He's going to Maryland? Actually, he's going to
Baltimore? I'm sorry, he's from New Jersey, going to be playing in Baltimore.
Right. He said in his press release in the note that he dropped that he wants to win a national championship and he has a better opportunity to do that. I think it's at Friendly. Is he going to in Maryland?
I thought he was going to.
Could be wrong.
No, he's going to St. Francis. Is that right?
St. Francis. Correct.
Yeah. St.
Friendly was that
Desmond Ricks is another guy that's going to be on that visit as well.
He's one who might
reclassify, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what his grades or school situation is, but he's one that should reclassify because I think he'll be like a 20-year-old freshman if he doesn't.
Whoa.
That's a good kid, though. That would be a hell of a game.
5-star on 3. Still was like 20-year-old freshman. What?
I mean, I've known some. I'm not going to put up people's business, but we've had some of those.
Yeah.
You want those, man. I like get them when they peaking, man. I like them at 20. If he's graduating at 20, get him on my campus. I think Copeland was similar, I think.
Yeah, he was older. Wasn't Amari Cooper the same over at Alabama, like 19, correct, almost 20? I think he went to Monarch. There was a question earlier, since we're on the topic of recruiting. Do you think we'll get more active in recruiting South Florida kids? And Silk, I know on the roll-up, you often talk about the I-4 corridor, especially this season, is probably just as talented as South Florida is, if not more talented. Do you anticipate Florida getting more involved, or do you think if they can stay in the I-4, Jacksonville, Atlanta, South Georgia areas, they'll be fun?
Yeah, I think we got some relationship with guys, some off the field guys that got some great relationships down there with Hypolite. How do you say his last name?
Hypolite.
We got some guys down there. And Andy Jean came from South Florida. I think we're gonna grab some more. We'll see more next cycle. But our wheelhouse in Florida Gators, traditionally I-4 is our area, and we cooking in that area right now. But yeah, I think we locked down the entire state. They put an emphasis on this, man. Nobody else in the state is putting the emphasis that Florida is right now on keeping Florida kids home. I thought it was damn near impossible, but right now they're doing a really good job of it.
Already.
Nick or Silk, I know Bryce Thornton is a name that somebody talked about earlier in the chat. He's scheduled to take a visit to Florida and Alabama. Chad Simmons, I think.
Yeah,
put in a crystal ball today. 4-star on 3. I think a couple of them have him ranked as a 3-star. Any word on him or any comment?
Someone that Patrick Toney, I think, is personally recruiting, obviously being the safety coach, defensive coordinator, and Thornton being a safety. He's out of Milton, Georgia.
Yeah.
We have him as a 4-star. Would be a great get. I think you need to rebuild that secondary a little bit, considering you're going to lose Trey Dean. Oh man, I almost said Jason Marshall.
Can't believe you Jason lose Trey Dean.
Yeah, so Bryce Thornton, again, a name that we haven't probably talked a ton about. 5'10", 185 out of Milton High School in Alpharetta, Georgia. 4-star on 3, 4-star on our 3-star on the consensus, ranked number 453 overall. But you look at his offer list: Florida, Alabama, LSU, Miami, Georgia. Definitely doesn't look like an offer list of a 3-star. So we'll definitely be interested to see. But that would be another great get. Florida going head to head against Alabama to grab one. So, Silk, if you don't have anything else, Nick, if you don't have anything else, let's take us out with a Manscaped ad read. And I think I have song of the week, so let me get that ready.
Already, man. Be sure to visit themanscaped.com, man. We at the peak of the summer. Football games on the horizon for the fall. Do not step out into these tailgate streets without ball deodorant or the Lawnmower 4.0 to keep you on point. Anything man grooming needs, deodorant, ear weed whacker, it clears out the hair and your nostril hairs and your earlobe hair. Anything you need, man grooming wise, ball spritzer, ball toner. They got it. Manscaped.com. Use coupon code SG20 for 20% off and free shipping.
Let's go. All right. Let's see. I'm going to do my boys Crawford and Power. They have a new song called Crying. Nice little country music song. So take us out with some traditional Dan Thompson country music vibes. And boys, we'll see you at the same corner, maybe different time next week.
Already, man.
And thanks to everybody that listened on YouTube. Thanks to everybody that did Super Chat. Thanks to everybody that has liked and subscribed. We appreciate you, and thank you for supporting our sponsors. And as always, we have stuff available on stadiumandgale.com/shop for you as well. Boys, see you next week.
See you next week, bro.